Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening to me, I guess. Recap from last weekend. We struggled a bit. We didn't expect to be perfect or to just run away from these teams this last weekend. We scheduled, I can't schedule thinking that we want to be tested and exposed. Can't say that. And then when we're tested and exposed to whine about it, we got out of the weekend when we wanted to. We wanted to see what our strengths and weaknesses were, and we learned a lot. Our young players figured out, hey, this is what college volleyball is, and that's exactly what we wanted. So all in all, we weren't successful as far as wins and losses, but we have a list of stuff that you can't know until you play some real opponents, and we're ready to get back to work. And I still like the talent we have, and as I've said the whole time, we're going to be a good team at the end of the year. We're not trying to be great right now, and we're not going to be because we have a bunch of young kids, but I think we'll be real competitive, and we're really excited about this weekend with it being our first home weekend in Stuff Huff, especially on Friday at 7, to play in front of our home people. So with that, I'll just leave it to some questions.
Obviously, after finishing second last year, what are some expectations this year? Sort of like a down to earth a little bit, or how many experience this weekend and you're going to start the season? How do you see it?
I don't know how it couldn't be humbling to lose, the first two and not win a set, of course. I think it was more like eye-opening, I think is a better term. Just with our outsides, just realizing, hey, there's a lot more to this than I thought. Like, I'm working hard in practice, but the amount of effort it takes to actually be against some great opponents. And Dayton was really good. I mean, they were as good as they're good. We thought they were going to be really good, but they were better than I thought they'd be at this time of year. And they played at a high level, and they exposed a lot of our weaknesses, which is why we're playing these. And so I think for them it was like, okay, the girls like, hey, these weaknesses they're going to be exposed a lot sooner than we thought they would. Well, one thing that'll help is Allie getting Stark back. She's kind of our rock reception-wise. And then the other one is just, but a big part of why we were struggling is that the players just didn't really, they didn't work as hard as they need to on passing. And we had the same issues with some of the other players. We just had some players that had some experience out there. But out of the players that we have returning that have passed before in a match, it's one. And so they need to learn what it's about. And we're going to watch some video here in a couple hours and talk about what, hey, look, we talk about how hard we have to work on passing. Let's see how it looks right now. Tell us how hard you're working on this. And it's just going to be about putting the effort in time.
Is Allie progressing with the therapy or whatever?
Yeah, it's as good as we could expect. We're hoping to have her back this weekend, but we'll see. I haven't heard from Randy yet. I should hear from him, or who's our athletic trainer. I should hear from him in the next little bit. But we suspect that she'll be back for the weekend and ready to go. Yeah, I have really mixed emotions about that because I mean it's great. I know the fans need to celebrate that, and it's going to be great to put a banner up there because it was really hard to look at 1992 being the last banner that was up there, and to raise something and put it up there, it means a lot. But for us as a team, we're trying to move forward and focus on this team. So we'll give it a moment to say, hey, thanks for celebrating let's celebrate last year, and then we got to be on to Iowa State in the match at hand, and this team focusing on being the best team they can be by the end of the year. I think with all that stuff from last year, we're really trying to move past that and just, get on to here and now.
From what you've seen, how much of those young players, leaning on returning players like Blizzard Man and any of those?
How much are they leaning on them? What was interesting is that I felt like the players that last year that played and they were comfortable out there playing. We're trying to do stuff that they weren't comfortable doing. They're doing things beyond their role. Like they were stepping outside themselves and taking on too much. And then they started to make uncharacteristic errors, trying to make up for the young kids that were nervous. And what we talked a lot about, I thought against Ohio we did a better job of that. Like Jennifer Beltran, was running all over the place. And we're going, Jen, just do your role and let the other kids, they'll figure this out. They just need some time. And I think that was the case for everybody. We just need them to settle in a little bit. Okay. They're going to be more physical. I think they're picked to finish second in the Big 12. They went 1 and 2 as well on the weekend, and they were a top 10 caliber team. And I think they're in the same boat. A bunch of young kids high expectations. It could be very interesting matches on the weekend, and playing 2 in a row, it'll be interesting to see. But we haven't done that before, so it'll be interesting to see how both teams kind of figure that out as we go. But I expect that they'll be an excellent team. Every team we play in the pre-conference has the potential to beat us.
I know you still have more games in the pre-conference, but are you glad you scheduled the way you did?
Ask me at the end of the year, but right now I am, because we're what I wanted. Like I said, we want to be exposed. We want to see what this level's about, and yeah, I think it's the right. I think it's the right thing for us to do at this point. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for having me. Oh, yeah.